You're listening to a New York Islanders episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Islanders fans! Welcome to another New York Islanders episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am Jacob Valk. And you remember during the bubble when I said that the Islanders were the team that was helped the most by the pause of sports? And I said that all throughout their time in Toronto and Edmonton. Well, here's hoping another coronavirus pause can have the same result. The Islanders only played 2 games last week. They lost on Sunday to the Flyers in overtime, 4-3. That capped off a 5-game road trip where they only got 2 points. Both of them coming in overtime losses to the Flyers. The Sabres had a COVID outbreak, so the Islanders couldn't play until Saturday. They beat the Penguins 4-3. And you know what? They weren't bad. The power play came up big with a late goal in the third period. Michael DeCaul made 2 really nice passes to set up Jordan Eberle. I'm not a Michael DeCaul fan by any stretch, but the Islanders do need a third-line left winger. Could it be DeCaul? Possibly. I'll say this, you can make the argument that he's a better option than Kiefer Bellows. Kiefer Bellows has really disappointed me. I was really happy that he was getting an opportunity early, but he just really hasn't done much with it. Ross Johnston got an opportunity. He was useless. Leo Komarov got an opportunity. He was useless. Dmytro Timashov got an opportunity. He was less than useless. The Islanders' best move now may be to have DeCaul as the regular third-line left winger. Pair him with Oliver Wahlstrom, and let's see if the young guns can step up. If not, I'll tell you who looked good during that loss to the Flyers. Austin Czarnik. With Beauvillier out, there's nothing wrong with DeCaul sliding up to the second line, and then the third line becomes Czarnik, Pajot, Wahlstrom, left to right. And then when Beauvillier comes back, you see who's playing worse out of the group of Czarnik, DeCaul, and Wahlstrom. And that guy gets scratched. I understand that Czarnik, Pajot, and Wahlstrom are all righties. You really shouldn't have a righty playing left wing, but c'est la vie. It's not the end of the world. It beats any of the alternatives. Let's put it that way. I mean, the only guy who I would be okay with seeing on that third line left wing, if it's not going to be Zarnik, is Bellows. Because I do think there's something there with Bellows. I do think he has potential. I definitely prefer him to Ross Johnston. I definitely prefer him to Otto Koivula. I definitely prefer him to Leo Komarov. And I definitely prefer him to Dmytro Timashov. So if you don't want Zarnik playing left wing, let it be Bellows. But that does play into a big issue that the Islanders have. They've been shuffling between third-line wingers like crazy. These guys just aren't able to gain any sort of consistency. Their games are struggling because of it. The team is struggling because of it. I don't know who's making the decision to send these guys down, if it's Lamoriello or if it's Trotz. But someone needs to say, hey, these are the guys that I'm going to roll with for a couple games. I'm going to give these guys some time to figure things out. If they don't play well, we'll make some changes, but we've got to give these guys a legitimate chance to show what they can do. The reality is, as bad as Dmytro Timashov was in his one game, it was one game. He played 7 minutes and 13 seconds. To evaluate someone based on that small a sample size is really unfair. Maybe the guy just had some bad shrimp or something. It's not like these guys are getting hurt. The only Islander that's gotten hurt is Beauvillier. Now, I understand the counter to that argument. That you really don't have time to let these guys develop chemistry. It's a 56-game season. Every game is important. And I get that side of things, but if that's your point, that every game is so important that the Islanders have to shuffle these guys, then Lamoriello needs to make some trades. He's got to work some magic. I know the Islanders don't have a lot of cap room. But again, this is Lou Lamoriello we're talking about. The supposed hockey genius. He's got to find a way to make these pieces fit. But I'll say this. When Beauvillier comes back, and assuming he's the only injured Islanders forward, I'm okay with the third line being Zarnik, Pajot, Wahlstrom. Maybe Zarnik gets replaced by Bellows. Maybe Zarnik gets replaced by DeCal. It all depends on what happens between now and when Beauvillier comes back. And God only knows when he's gonna come back. You gotta love the classic lower body injury. Tells you absolutely nothing. I hate that the NHL allows that. The other three major sports, you have to report exactly what the injury is. It's okay if you get the timeline wrong, but tell us what the injury is. The NHL, you can say lower body injury, upper body injury. Okay, that covers everything from a concussion to a hangnail. That is something that should be addressed at some point in time. All in all, even though the Islanders had a terrible road trip before they went on their little break, they still are in good shape. They're not like the Senators, the Kings, the Red Wings, or the Sharks. It's very possible for the Islanders to be one of the 4 playoff teams from the East Division. And once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Like I said, this impromptu vacation could turn out to be a really good thing for the Islanders. Brooklyn Nets show comes your way next week. New York Islanders show comes your way the week after. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk show come your way every weekday afternoon. Until next time, I am Jacob Valk saying that Philly fans would boo a shiver.